Up to day 48 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're talking about some very interesting topics: excuses, reasons, justifications, and blame, and the impact that they have on our relationships. First and foremost, we want to think about the impact they have on our relationships. Then I want to share 4 things that we can do instead of them, because they're really not, in most instances, adding value to the relationship. If I'm blaming somebody else for something, I'm probably not taking responsibility for my role in it, and I'm just assessing blame and then I forget about it, or I just don't participate fully in that relationship. Excuses tend to be a veil for avoidance, right? Or for just not dealing with something. I'm making an excuse. I don't feel good. I'm tired. Therefore, I don't want to participate in this thing. Or I don't want to go to the party with you because I'm tired, or I had a long day at work. They're excuses. Now, reasons are really the same thing. They're an excuse, but they're kind of a foundation for understanding. You're explaining and hoping the other person will understand and then not pressure you to do things you don't want to do, because you have a valid reason for not wanting to do something or for wanting to do something, right? All of these things go both ways. For everything in our lives, every word, everything, every experience, there's positives and negatives that go with that. And whether it's positive or negative is always determined by us. It's filtered through our past experiences. It's filtered through our current situation, and it's filtered through our expectations of the future. Justifications, on the other hand, tend to be a way of rationalizing our behavior. They're a lot like excuses in my mind. Hey, but you're giving evidence of why you were why you had the right to feel this way, or why you had the right to behave in a certain way that you probably know wasn't your best possible reaction to a situation. And finally, blame. Ooh, blame's a toughie. Blame is, an erosion of trust. If I'm blaming you for certain things, it means I probably lost trust in you. I try not to blame. I try to understand, but it doesn't mean I always do. I've had some tough relationships in my life, and I guess I try to take responsibility for my part in that relationship. But guess what? Sometimes other people have really bad behavior, and that's not about me. That's about them. Other people's choices and emotions and decisions are their decisions, and I can have an impact on them. It's like our kids. We wish we could make decisions and think for our kids sometimes, but we can't. We have to let them figure out what works for their own lives. So what are some things we should do instead of making excuses, giving reasons, justifications, and blame? Number 1, practice open communication. The more open we are about our communication. Hey, I feel this way when this happens. I feel this way when I've experienced this. Make it about how you feel. And guess what? Some people will argue with how you feel. If you're in a bad relationship, they will negate your feelings. They will not even consider them. And that is probably an indication that might not be the healthiest relationship for us. Secondly, cultivate empathy and understanding. Understand we're all a human. We make mistakes, but there are forgivable mistakes and there are unforgivable mistakes. And we define what those are for us. And it doesn't mean the other person's a bad person. It just means they're not the right person for us. If you're in a relationship and it feels bad more than it feels good, not the relationship for you. I don't know where we got this idea that our relationships and love is supposed to hurt and be painful, because it's certainly not. It's one of those justifications we make, or excuses we make for other people who are treating us in ways that we don't deserve to be treated. Thirdly, take ownership of your actions, right? Instead of blaming, we're late because so-and-so wasn't ready, or we're late because so-and-so didn't want to come. That's making excuses, right? Or blaming somebody else for you being late. Guess what? Sometimes we're just late, and we are supposed to learn from the times that we don't meet our own expectations as well as other people's expectations, so that we plan ahead or do better the next time, right? We want to live our lives in a cycle of continuous improvement, getting to be better and better and better human beings. And finally, 4th, foster forgiveness and healing. And again, forgiveness is for you. Healing is for you. You can forgive other people and not forget what they've done if it's had a negative impact or harmed you, or a relationship that you no longer want to be involved in. we've all been involved for the most part, I think, in good relationships and yet not so good relationships. Relationships come and go. We're focusing on relationships this month is why we're talking about this. So what's our action item today? Our action item, which I did not write down, and it's Molly's story. Guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group has got the write-up for today. Much better and more eloquently written than I just shared it probably. And also Molly's story is there about using these things and learning from the things that work and the things that don't work and how that impacted her relationships. So our action item today is to notice today, as you're going about your day, are you, not anyone else, we're only working on our own behavior, are you making excuses or giving reasons or justifying something or blaming someone or something else for something? Maybe take a little Post-it note and put little hashtags, put those 4 headings on, and every time you catch yourself doing one of those things, put a little hashtag on the Post-it note and see how many times you actually do that. I'm going to do that. Just thought of that now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a Post-it notes on the table. I'm going to grab one and I'm going to put, I could do 4 different ones and then I probably should do 4 different ones because I'm traveling, and put little hash marks for each of those. I'm going to see what kind of numbers I rack up for blame, justification, excuses, and reasons. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.